Yeah. What's up, guys? Your boy Champ. We're here live on Twitch, but I keep getting requests on my DMs and also my YouTube channel that's new to produce a tier list overview of the game. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it. I'm trying to make it quick though, but I don't know if it's really gonna be quick. Maybe I should cut a few things, but okay. Anyways, the game has been somewhat maybe 50 to 60% figured out. I mean, I know Marvel games are kind of deep, so it it's not easy to actually solve the game in general, but like we know who are the best three characters in the game by far. So the best character in the game is either one or two. Is gonna be Zero and Morrigan, right? Everybody knows that. Why is that? Zero is like the best point character in the game alongside with Morrigan. It's not lightning loop, super, so much durability, so much control. Sugembu has one frame recovery, and in ridiculous mix-up, set play all the way, zoning, complete character. Okay. Then you got Morrigan, one of the best supports in the game. Sophis, you guys see Chris G and other Morrigan players dominate with that. So much control for one bar and so much shift damage. So they're the two best characters in the game. Mind you, the Morgan has the AC Infinite as well. So he has everything that what makes a top tier. Morgan does have that. Okay, so anyways, we got Phoenix, who could arguably be the best character in the game, but since she's so unstable, she can't be because you do not get Dark Phoenix every game. And there's so much tech around against her. So despite all the negative side, there's upside with her is so much as well. But that's why at the very least she's top three. Okay, so there you go. Everybody knows what Dark Phoenix. Boom, 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 dead. Everybody, right? Then the fourth best character in the game, and fifth and sixth, my opinion, are tied between Magneto, Virgil, and Doctor Doom. So these three characters are definitely here, which is the A plus tier, because this is like S minus, A plus tiers right here. Okay, don't worry about this has faults well rounded. Let's just remove them, make it simple so everybody else can read it properly. And because there's not a lot of tier lists on YouTube, but I posted this a shit ton on Twitter back then. But anyways, yeah, Doctor Doom's the best support character in the game. Amazing. Has TAC Infinites, has all the things what makes Marvel Marvel. So he gives you the full Marvel experience. So if you want to play the game and you want to get into it and be somewhat competitive, just have a Doctor Doom. Support role is such an important aspect of the game. It's a team-based game, so you obviously need somebody who's going to be a support. Virgil is like second best anchor in the game, most stable anchor. Everybody knows Dark Virgil is just insane. Blistering Swords, full control. Helmbreaker, easy defense. Doesn't necessarily have to block as much. You just do Helmbreaker launch if you're in trouble in the corner. Really hard to punish. Um, Amazing mix-ups. He could obviously put you in a long block stun alongside with an assist, like a Doctor Doom, a Dante, anything like that. He could basically stop people from playing. They just gotta have to defend against you the entire time. Then you got Megiddo, who's just the most complete character, but it's not OP in all the attributes that what makes um broken. Like for instance, he has amazing offense, just good enough, but not overwhelmed. He doesn't have better offense than Wolverine, for instance, right? But he has way above average offense. His defense is his movement, but he does not have a same defense as a Virgil would have because of the Helmbreaker. He does not have any buttons that he can mash coming down, which is important, like a pizza cutter, a shell kick. You know those moves. He doesn't have a dive kick, Wolverine, a lariat, a pipe. He does not have none of that, so that makes his defense slightly weak, but his movement makes up for it. He has high damage. So everything with him is like above average. But the one thing that separates him with the rest of the pack is that he is so versatile. And so dominant with full control. So the character is just as good as how good you are in the game. He ain't gonna carry you, but is so strong. So Magneto is definitely there. The ceiling is so high. So this is in any order. You could put them in any order. But this is the reason why Doctor Doom is, to me, is number 6, just because of the support capabilities. Then you got the next tier of guys. Okay, so now this is the next tier, any order. Okay, so you got Strider, Spencer, Nova, Wolvie, Firebrand, Viper. I guess we can make a separate section. Let's do it like this. So these guys are all in the same tier. They can be ranked in any order you wish. And when I say the reason why they're like this is because of the matchups in the game are so, I would say, like, so not random, but there's so much matchups in the game that these guys can counter each other. Some of them have winning matchups, some of them have losing matchups, so it equates to just them, all of them being the same tier. And also, mind you, the characters that are here in the A tier level can also fight the top tiers, but they do have some losing, some winning matchups. So obviously, most of them does beat Doctor Doom, but none of them. But Doctor Doom's role is not to beat the point, not to beat the anchor, but just to have the presence. His impact in the game is so much. You feel when there's a Doctor Doom in the game because of TAC threat, missiles, beam, rocks, install super in the air that looks like an install super, just super hyper durability, the whole shit, and the fucking DHC to Virgil. Such a good character. So you got these guys. Let me see. I guess we'll get with the second section, then we'll break it down. These are the second section. Hagar, Hulk, Dante's there. I'm gonna just do it this way, and then I'm gonna start talking about it. Iron Man, Deadpool's here. This is all any order. Then let's put the bad characters at the bottom. I don't know if I should promote Wesker here, but he actually fell off the tier list because of how simple he is. Win condition, Arthur's here. Nemesis is a bad character, bad character, bad character, bad character, bad character, bad character. That's a decently bad character. I guess Chun-Li makes it in here in this section. What she S A B C and then D and then shit, right? Okay, let's say Nova. What else can you say? Amazing jabs, good anti-air, good pressure, very easy. Decent damage already. Has one of the best level ones in the game, the speed tackle. Just one of the best points, if not top. Is it really like top 6 point character in the game? Strider, third best anchor in the game. Um, can also be played in a lot of different ways, as I've seen through other new players out there that's like playing him really good. He has a checkmate with the orbs in level 3 as well, X Factor. He has a decent assist as well that can stop you from moving the air. Sure, could be punished, but it's very hard to do. Then you got Spencer, unscaled 80k, really strong, dominant second or first character. Sometimes can be played anchor because of his level 1 bionic arm that you can match with Team Super. High damage character, definitely semi-complete. And I'd say like lacks some ability in the air. Um, struggles against zoning from the air coming down. So obviously in the ground he doesn't struggle because he always bionic arm, but like characters like Magneto would throw mag blast in the air, Zero throwing some busters, you got Morrigan throwing some soul fist coming down, like so he definitely struggles with that. Okay, then you got Wolverine, which is so overwhelming. Offense is just ridiculous. Has speed up, berserker slash, dive kick options to like grab. Can't even grab. You can't even like jump because he grabs you. Insane, man. Ridiculous. So you see Justin won't play him, and Pierre Barog is just a nightmare. And you got Firebrand. Ceiling is really high because you can create a team that stops you from playing. Like you see Apology Man's team or other variants of this with an Iron Man. Like it did non-stop unblockable loop, right? So and his tools as a character is quite complete, and his upside is really a lot. The thing is, nobody has really mastered him completely because execution barrier is really high. So he falls to the same category as Viper, who's like upside is a lot, has so much potential, but hard to play. And I think Viper might have struggled on like a few things, like the Viper struggles on like how to hit you in general, because her offense on like opening you up without a lockdown assist is quite limited. Not like Magneto, not like Wolverine, not like Nova. You know what I mean? So, but she's complete. A lot of durability, which is a big factor in the game. So, there she is. Then MODOK, really good zoning with some rush down. Has a lot of setups, jamming bomb, full control. He's like a traditional zoning character with some offense. He's mostly like a Dormammu, but he has more rushdown than Dormammu. But Dormammu has slightly more zoning than him, or better zoning. So both of them in the same tier. Dormammu obviously has a lot of control. Too bad he does lose to Spencer and Nova, who automatically hard counters him. Viper as well. So most of the top tier characters in the game does counter him instantly, like Virgil. So that makes him really hard to exist in the meta. But if this, you could obviously counter those situations with by not matching him with those characters. Even if you have other characters, like if I have Magneto, then obviously Magneto can fight the harder characters, and then Dormammu can just kill the Dooms or the support. But yeah, that's his role in the game. Really strong support though. Has TACs. Has a pretty good DHC to the ball. Instant zoning. Amazing. Dante, second best support in the game. You could argue he's the best support, maybe tied with Doctor Doom. He has TAC infinites as well. Good follow my lead kind of supers. Um, Probably the best assist in the game, Jam Session. Um, if not top 3. It's really, really, really good character as far as like supporting your team. Jam Session puts you in a long block stun and gives your opponent a lot of potential ways to open you up, like fuzzies, cross up, all the nasty stuff. So Dante definitely up there. You could argue he's top 10 just because of his support potential. And he could also play some anchors, but sure, he would not be a very strong anchor compared to the top 3, like Phoenix, Virgil, and Strider, but he has some anchor potentials, but not as strong as the others. Okay. Okay. Now this tier, this could be in any order. So you imagine you can have Chun-Li here or Doctor Strange here. It does not matter. They're just all by section. It's not necessarily all in order. everything here is not in order. It's by row because Marvel is so diverse and so complicated that you really can't put characters in order unless it's the absolute top of the food chain because you can they're a big there's a big segregation of the tiers, right? So these guys, pretty good, decent support. Has one of the better assists in the game, the Bolt. Probably it's probably top tier support, but absolute shit character, right? He's such a support, so that's his problem. He can't really fight as much, but he has good support. Yeah, but Sentinel, not as good a support as Doctor Strange, but definitely a top tier support. But he can fight a little bit. You know, you could see like Ray play him. He's not a terrible character, but he's definitely not top tier. But he does give your team a lot of upside. But the problem is you have to sacrifice an anchor slot for him because he is best played as an anchor. Because he's not an anchor, but his slot takes the anchor in the team. So he's obviously when you play Sentinel, your team is automatically front heavy. So it's one of those. Not saying that I hate on it because I like it. Storm very popular because of Justin Wong. Sure, there's not a lot of people playing her, but when you see Storm, you think about Justin Wong. She's like everything. She's so complete, but she does everything worse than Magneto and Morgan and Phoenix. Everything worse than all of them, but she's so versatile that that even though sure she's not technically a terrible character. It's just that other characters does better. I mean, does things better than her. And so why would you pick Storm if you could pick them, right? Unless you really love the character. So you know what I mean? So she's not the thing is okay, so she has good mobility, which is massive in the game. She has decent durability. She has a pretty good level 1. She has TAC infinite. She has overhead. She has a low. Uh, I there's not much downside to her, but her zoning is not as good as Magneto. Her movement is not as good as Magneto or Phoenix or the others. Rushdown not better than Nova or Magneto, the other guys. She's assist reliant, and her damage is quite low compared to the other characters that you see here, even here in the A section. So that's what makes her that tier. And she's one of those characters that she ain't gonna open you up. You just out back forever. But if there's an assist, she's gonna be able to hit you with an instant low. So Hawkeye, insane anchor potential. Support wise, not that strong support. But Hawkeye in general has a lot of checkmate. He checkmates a lot of character at the end if he's at level 3 X Factor or no X Factor. It's a 1v1, and he runs into like a bad matchup. Like anybody one-on-one, Hawkeye can fight except for like Virgil. Even then, he can still fight those guys. Now Hawkeye is pretty good in that regard. Definitely, like if you're strong, you will show with your Hawkeye, your Sentinel, Doctor Strange, your Akuma, your Storm. Like these guys are like this skill carries over quite well. Hulk Hagar, let's say no more. You got KBR, who just took these two guys to the next level. Amazing set play. Akuma, like Justin Wong, one of the better assists in the game. Very oppressive, so I really like it. Beautiful Joe has a lot of potential, but hasn't really been maximized, but has a lot of upside. Super Scroll, pretty decent anchor. I actually still think that he's a top 5 anchor in the game, just because of the pandemonium he creates and the randomness. The fact that there's like command grabs and the meter smash. It's really hard to read this guy. It's really designed to create variance in the game. Trish, pretty good zoning, love her mobility, has some rush down, definitely better than Storm. So she's a tier above Storm, but it's so close that I just put them in the same row. Mind you, this is not in order. This is in any order, but the tier is so close that I just put them together. Okay, Deadpool, very decent, above average kind of point character. So Dual Caveat has definitely shown that, and I love his zoning, his space control. Definitely not a bad character, but it's not that cheap, right, compared to the other guys. Wesker, maybe the most basic character in the game that you can pick up. Everybody can play Wesker, really easy. Um, so he has everything that you may need to actually potentially win, but he has to hit your opponent twice in order for him to win because he doesn't not really have a one-touch kill. So, but he's somewhat complete. At the very start of Ultimate Marvel 3, Wesker was actually considered the best character in the game because of his speed up when he removes his glasses. So at the very start of Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, everybody was saying Wesker's the best because nobody could have stopped the Dark Wesker before. So he was the best character in the game considered. Okay, times have changed and he just can't keep coming down the tier list over and over again because he's never really evolved, which is crazy. Chun-Li, probably slightly better than Wesker, but her ability to stall and her rush down is so good that Ryan LB has showcased. So she's definitely like rose to the occasion and just became like one of the better characters in the game for this row. She would usually be here. Now she went up the tier list quite a few. Spider-Man, I would consider him like a pretty good point character, but has some issues with durability. So that means he has to go in completely, and these are the things that these top guys don't have to worry about. That they have a lot of ways around it, but he has problems. Okay, mind you, he can be here too. This is in any row. Okay, any order in this row. Actually, you would think Thor. Let's go to this section, which is the lower side of things. These guys, you can definitely argue that they can be here in this row. The things in Marvel, there's so many good characters in the game that you can actually argue the why they should be here. Like Frank West, you can argue he should be here, right? Because he has an upside. Arthur as well is a pretty good, Rocket Raccoon has a good support. Taskmaster, he's just like a Wesker, basic at everything, doesn't really excel at anything, right? So you could argue that. Amy, pretty good support. Shuma as well. So I, I I wouldn't I wouldn't hate it if I just merge all these guys into one row. It just ran out of space. But all these guys in general are all playable, and if you really enjoy playing them, go ahead and play them because they're really, you can take them to the next level to the point that you can fight top tiers. That's a good thing about Marvel 3. You can fight the top tiers with these characters, no problem. Watch tournament, you see that all happen all the time because it's how it's basically your team dynamic. How it is. These guys, I suggest do not play them if you're trying to be competitive. We're trying to even having fun. Don't play them because you're not gonna have fun because you are instantly limited. Sure, there will be like a few specialists like Abigail. You got I Heart Justice. Then you got Jacko. Oh no. Jacko is Ghost Rider. So in general, so yeah, Jacko plays Ghost Rider, Felicia, and Nemesis. But yeah, you don't want to do that. But yeah, so try to avoid playing these guys if you want to have fun. Don't try to be competitive. It's just suggest because it's not like you can't express yourself with these guys. You actually can just play these portion and be successful in the game. But yeah, guys, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Peace.